Okay, let's wrap up Unit 1, the Global Tapestry, 1200 to 1450. From China to Mali, from the Aztecs to Europe, the years 1200 to 1450 saw powerful civilizations rise, flourish, and sometimes fall. Though separated by oceans and deserts, these societies faced similar challenges: how to govern populations, how to produce and trade more effectively, how to define culture and faith, and how to organize social life. This is your Unit 1 wrap up, a quick journey across the globe to compare developments in this formative era of world history. In China, the Song dynasty created the world's most sophisticated state system: a vast bureaucracy, merit based civil service exams, and Confucian values holding society together. Its economy thrived with champa rice, steel production, and paper money, and booming urban markets. Culturally, Neo Confucianism blended Confucianism, Buddhist, and Taoist traditions, spreading influence into Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. China in this period was the economic engine of the world. The Islamic world was politically fragmented but culturally unified. The Abbasids lost power, but states like the Mamluk Sultanate in Egypt and Al-Andalus in Spain carried forward Islam's legacy. Islamic scholars advanced math, astronomy, and medicine, while Sufi mystics spread the faith across Africa and Asia. Trade tied the Muslim world into Afro-Eurasia, linking West African gold, Indian textiles, and Chinese porcelain. Dar al-Islam was the intellectual crossroads of this period. In South Asia, the Delhi Sultanate brought Islam to northern India, while southern Hindu kingdoms like I'm going to struggle to say this one, Vijayaranga, please look to the spellings. The Vijayaranga flourished. Islam clashed with caste hierarchies, but Sufi traditions and the Bhakti movement created cultural blending. In Southeast Asia, kingdoms like Srivijava and Majapahit, probably close, and Angkor thrived on trade and religion. The rise of Malacca as an Islamic port city showed the region's role as a maritime crossroads. In the Americas, states developed independently from Afro-Eurasia. The Mississippians built mound cities like Cahokia. The Aztecs created a tributary empire centered on Tenochtitlan, using chinapas for farming and human sacrifice for religion. The Incas organized a massive Andean empire with the Mita labor system, terraced farming, and the Quipu record system. American civilizations proved that complex empires did not need Eurasian tools like horses or the wheel. In Africa, trade fueled state building. The Mali Empire became legendary for gold wealth under Mansa Musa, who spread Islam and scholarship to Timbuktu. On the Swahili coast, city-states like Kilwa and Mombasa linked Africa to the Indian Ocean trade. Great Zimbabwe built monumental stone walls as the center of an inland trade of networks. Christian Ethiopia preserved its faith and identity, carving rock-hewn churches and blending biblical and African traditions. Africa was a vital connector in the global economy. Europe in 1200 was still fragmented under feudalism and the manorial system, but monarchs in France and England began centralizing power. The Magna Carta and English Parliament limited royal authority. The Catholic Church unified Europe, but also faced challenges like corruption and the Crusades. While the Crusades failed militarily, they opened Europe to trade and knowledge from the Islamic world. By the 1300s, the Black Death devastated populations but accelerated the decline of serfdom. The late 14th and 15th centuries saw the stirrings of the Renaissance, fueled by trade and classical revival. Now let's compare across regions. State building. China used bureaucracy. The Islamic world used religion and law. Europe mixed monarchy with feudalism. The Aztecs and Incas used tribute and labor. Different methods, but the same goal: consolidating power. Religion. Confucianism in China. Islam across Dar al-Islam. Hinduism and Buddhism in India. Christianity in Europe and Ethiopia. And polytheism in the Americas. Everywhere, faith legitimized rulers and shaped culture. Economy and trade. Afro-Eurasia was tied together by the Silk Roads, Indian Ocean, and Trans-Saharan routes. The Americas had tribute and redistribution systems, more regional in scope. Social structure. All societies were hierarchical and patriarchal, but the form differed. Confucian exams in China, caste in India, feudalism in Europe, kinship in Africa, tribute in the Americas. Technology and innovation. China led in printing, paper, gunpowder, and compasses. The Islamic world preserved and expanded classical knowledge. Europe borrowed heavily. The Americas innovated independently with chinampas, terraces, and quipu. Between 1200 and 1450, the world was a patchwork of powerful regions, each advancing in its own way. Afro-Eurasia was already deeply interconnected, while the Americas developed separately. Yet the same themes repeated everywhere: rulers seeking legitimacy, religions guiding societies, trade fueling economies, and hierarchies organizing people. This is the big takeaway for Unit 1. Despite different contexts, civilizations around the globe faced similar challenges and came up with different, but equally sophisticated, solutions. That wraps up Unit 1, the Global Tapestry. You now have the big picture: China's wealth, Islam's unity, India's blending, Africa's trade, Europe's transition, and the independent empires of the Americas. In the next unit, we'll move into networks of exchange from 1450 to 1750, the Silk Roads, Indian Ocean, and Mongol Empire, where these threads start weaving together even more tightly. Until then, stay curious, because history matters.